The latest and greatest transfer update from Derby County comes from West Bromwich Albion, where Derby County are rumoured to be expecting the signing of Alex Mowatt, as well as a move for Travis and also another bid for Max Johnston. Now, we spoke yesterday about the bid for Max Johnston. We've also spoke across the course of the last few days about the potential move for Travis, but the latest one on the list is a move for West Bromwich Albion midfielder Alex Mowatt. Now, I don't necessarily know how much I believe this move, because it's one where he's only recently just signed a new contract from what I'm aware, which ultimately puts him in a position where he doesn't necessarily need to leave. He doesn't, is not necessarily out of the squad or anything like that, which for me makes this move for Alex Mowatt a little bit off the cuff, a little bit out of the way. But it comes from the forum in the terms of SC Corner Ram. You will have seen it on screen already, but I don't know where this one's coming from, but I do believe that it's a move that would make Derby County better. Now, we are going to take a look into this, so if you have not done so already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts on this potential move down in the comments, but let's take a look into Mowatt, Johnston, and Travis. Now, obviously, the move for Alex Mowatt is the newest one of the bunch, and it is an interesting one in that sort of respect, because for me, as much as I think Derby County do need better quality midfielders, I ultimately realistically need to see players leave the door before Derby County bring in more. We've already got the rumour that Travis will be heading to Derby County before the end of the transfer window. Now you add in Alex Mowatt, that's two more central midfielders to an area that already has around 6 players in that pivot position. And for me, I just think Derby County can do a lot better than having 7 or 8 players to keep happy for 2 positions. Now, do I think that players are going to move on? I absolutely do. Now, if we look at what SE Corner Ram said, he was quoting somebody else who said he can't see us getting Travis and Mowatt. If we do, then I'm not buying, no external fund. Quote, would happily take both mind, although as per everyone on here, 2 wingers would be nice. Now, SE Corner Ram says that both are expected. The board have reportedly sanctioned 4 more signings with 3 players set to leave. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't know how reliable SE Corner Ram is. There's a few people on the forum who get things right here and there, but they sort of have on moments and off moments throughout the course of transfer windows and things like that. We saw that last season with the talks of Lasse Nordas, the obvious rumours of a Danish winger potentially coming in as well. Obviously, those deals ended up not happening, and the players that actually were potentially close to joining weren't ever mentioned on the forum. So it is sort of an interesting one to keep across. Now, if we do sort of take a look into Alex Mowatt, 30 years old, valued at around €2.5 million as per that of Transfer Market, and has a contract up until the end of this current season. Now, he did start and play the full 90 minutes just the other day for West Bromwich Albion, in which they went on to win 1-0. They obviously play Derby County on Tuesday night, so it is an interesting one to sort of keep across. Now, obviously, many of you will know about Alex Mowatt, central midfielder by trade, can play holding as a 10 and also as a number 8, can also play in the 2 wing-back positions, although nowadays more of that central midfielder given his age factor and things like that. Now, across the course of his career, he's played for clubs like Leeds United, West Brom, Barnsley, Oxford and Middlesbrough, spending most of his time in the Championship, where he's played 366 times with 37 goals and 38 assists. Now, I don't think making a move for Alex Mowatt is a bad one, if I'm completely honest. But a lot of the conversation early on in this transfer window was lowering the average age of the squad and lowering the age of the players within it. And obviously, 30-year-old Alex Mowatt doesn't necessarily do that. Now, I'm not saying that Derby County should force young players into their squad or anything like that. I do think we need to put the best possible squad available for John Eustace to then build upon with youngsters across the course of the next few years. But this is sort of one which puts us in a bit of a difficult position, because if you're paying a fee for a player like Mowatt, he's probably going to be on a 3-year contract, and ultimately that takes him until he's 33. And we've seen with players in the past, especially at Derby County, that once players are past their 30s, I'm not saying they're old, I'm not saying they can't compete, but we saw with Conor Horahan from the space of August to October, perfectly fine. October beyond, legs had gone. David McGoldrick, legs are still going now, and he's 37, playing for Barnsley. Craig Forsyth has still got it, he's 37. So it's not that is sort of time is done in football, but ultimately you've got that sort of 50-50 of his legs could go in the next 12 months or they might not go for another 5 years, and that's sort of what makes these moves a little bit difficult. Now obviously we did obviously mention Lewis Travis earlier, who I spoke about in a video a couple of days ago. I think it's a really interesting one for Lewis Travis, because if you're bringing in Travis and you're bringing in obviously the signing of Alex Mowatt, that means you've got to see our midfielder go, at least one. And in my opinion, it will probably be a Ben Osborne. Obviously, many people may say Liam Thompson, but considering the fact he signed a new contract just a few months ago, not even a few months ago, I highly doubt that he'll be the one to exit the building. Now, obviously, we know Lewis Travis is a very, very good player. One of the best players for Blackburn Rovers across the course of recent years. And I believe he's obviously their captain. And at 27 years of age, drops the average age of Derby County's midfield a little bit, but ultimately he is better than what we've got. So it's something that we're going to have to keep across the course of the next couple of weeks. And whether he plays on Tuesday up against Bradford at home will be a very, very interesting one, considering the reports that are going around. Obviously the same with Alex Mowatt, if he plays up against Derby County or if he's not involved. But obviously we have to keep these sort of talks, these rumours, a little bit down to earth, because there is no official news in regards to that of Alex Mowatt or that of Lewis Travis. Now, the latest official news that we do have is in regards to the fullback from Sturm Graz by the name of Max Johnston. Max Johnston is a 21-year-old Scottish international who obviously plays in that right-back position, and it is expected that Derby County are going to launch an improved offer for the fullback, who have had 2 bids rejected so far, totaling £1.6 million. There is a Greek club by the name of Panathinaikos who are also monitoring the situation, but at the moment Derby County do seem to be the only one who have placed an official bid and are trying to work that deal out. Now, it was reported, rumoured on the forum a few days ago that personal terms had been agreed and transfer fees had been agreed, but judging on the basis of this latest report from Anthony Joseph, I'd probably suggest that that is bullshit, to be quite honest. But it's one of those for me where we've got to sort of keep across it. I would have spoke about the move for Max Johnston in a video on its own, because I think it does need its own talking points, really. So I've spoke about that in a video yesterday. But in regards to all 3 of these moves, they obviously make Derby County a better team. I don't think anybody will deny that. But it's one of those for me where you can make as many of these moves as you want, but ultimately if you're not bringing in the right players to then pair with it, you put yourself in a little bit of a shit position. Now, obviously, if we look sort of like at the depth chart and things like that, there's so many players who can move on. And in regards to the players that are potentially moving out, who could it be at Derby County? For me, you're looking at a Joe Ward, you're looking at a Ben Osborne, you're looking at a Curtis Nelson maybe when he's fit, you're looking at a Callum Elder potentially. And for me, that's 4 or 5 players who could move on this summer. You look then at potential loans. You're looking at Dejon Brown. You're looking at Lennon Wilden. You're looking at Charles Abuki. You're looking at Jake Rooney, who could all go out and get those loan spells. Obviously, you've got the likes of Harry Hawkins, Tristan Gill, Kai Robinson, Isaac Gordon, who all probably deserve loan spells as well. But ultimately, we don't know what is going to happen. Now, obviously, at Derby County at the moment, we do have quite a big squad. Despite the fact of John Eustace sort of denying that, I think we had a big squad last season, just a lot of them weren't available, and it is going to be interesting to see how the next few weeks does develop for Derby County. And obviously there's a massive situation going on in regards to that of the transfer window. Now, if we can bring in these 3 players, Lewis Travis, Alex Mowatt and Max Johnston, it certainly does improve the total quality of the squad. Does bring in a couple of younger players as well, but also some of those players in the prime age who are going to have an instant impact at the club. But obviously, we're going to have to wait and see how that all shakes out. Now, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Do you think we'll sign these 3 players, or do you think Derby County will go and get somebody else? And if you did not already know, we will be going live on Tuesday night for Derby County versus West Brom, which is obviously live on Sky Sports Plus. We will be discussing the team selection, transfer news, and going through everything at Derby County heading into that game, and obviously doing a watch along of the game as well. So make sure you've got the notification bell turned on for that, and I'll catch you in the next one later on.